Goliath is one of the most famous villains in the Bible, known for his giant stature and his role in one of the most iconic underdog stories ever told. His story takes place in the first book of Samuel, which is part of the Old Testament. Let's dive into the story of Goliath from start to finish. Goliath was a giant from Gath, one of the 5 city-states of the Philistines, who were enemies of Israel. The Bible describes him as standing over 9 feet tall, wearing heavy armor, and carrying a massive spear. His size and strength made him an intimidating figure on the battlefield, and he was the champion of the Philistine army. The Israelites and the Philistines were at war, and both armies were camped on opposite sides of a valley, ready for battle. Instead of having a massive fight right away, Goliath came forward from the Philistine camp and challenged the Israelites to send out a champion of their own to fight him. Terms were simple. If the Israelite champion won, the Philistines would become their subjects, but if Goliath won, the Israelites would serve the Philistines. Goliath made this challenge every morning and evening for 40 days, but no Israelite soldier dared to fight him because they were all terrified. David was the youngest son of Jesse from the town of Bethlehem. While his 3 oldest brothers were with King Saul's army, David was tending sheep. Jesse sent David to the battlefield to bring food to his brothers and check on them. When David arrived, he heard Goliath's challenge and was surprised that no one had the courage to fight this Philistine giant. David was offended by Goliath's defiance of the God of Israel and volunteered to fight him. King Saul was skeptical because David was just a young boy and not a soldier. However, David convinced Saul by telling him about how he had protected his father's sheep from lions and bears. Saul reluctantly agreed and offered David his own armor, but David refused it. Choosing instead to face Goliath with his sling and 5 smooth stones, he picked from a stream. David approached Goliath, and the giant mocked him, cursing David by his gods. David responded with faith in the God of Israel, declaring that the battle was the Lord's, and God would deliver Goliath into his hands. As Goliath moved to attack, David ran toward the battle line, slung one of his stones, and hit Goliath in the forehead. The stone sank into Goliath's forehead, and he fell face down on the ground. David then took Goliath's sword, killed him, and cut off his head. Seeing their champion defeated, the Philistine army fled in panic. David's victory over Goliath made him a hero in Israel. It was the beginning of David's rise to becoming the king of Israel and a central figure in the Bible. His faith in God and his victory against Goliath is often cited as a testament to how faith, courage, and God's support can help overcome even the most daunting challenges. Goliath's story serves as a backdrop to highlight David's faith, courage, and God's power. It's a classic tale of the underdog triumphing against all odds, reminding readers that strength and victory come not from physical might, but from faith in God.